Let's move on to the running backs here. And oh boy, the rushing attack did not work on Halloween against the Miami Dolphins. I don't know if it's because the team was trotting out a new offensive line combo, the lackluster of talent that we have in the running back room. But this Bills rushing attack was so hard to watch, and I'll quickly go over this. But like Moss, he he did well when he caught the ball, catching 6 out of 7, good for like 39 yards. That's pretty good. Um, but when he was rushing the ball, he had 19 yards on 8 carries. That's only good for 2.4 yards on average. And then you look at Singletary, he only caught the ball once for one measly little yard. But then when he rushed, he got 28 yards on 7 carries, an average of 4 yards per average. So they were almost like flip flopped, I guess. One could catch, one could rush, but neither could really do both. And not saying 4 yards on average from Singletary is good enough, but it was better than 2.4 yards from Moss. But here's the kicker, Justin, and this is what I alluded to earlier in the episode. Allen had more yards on the ground than both of them combined on half of their combined carries. So I think each of them, yeah, so Moss had it 7 times, Singletary had it 8 times, Allen had it 8 times. They they both, Moss and Singletary, couldn't amount to Josh Allen's 55 yards between both of them when they had double the carries.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah, the run game goes through, I guess I'd say it's more spurts of being decent, but I I struggle with how I feel about the run game because I think it's a combination of all the factors. I don't think our offensive line is opening up enough holes for the running backs. I feel like the running backs aren't talented enough to make something out of nothing if they don't have a hole there. They're both fine. Moss is fine at, putting down his shoulder and getting through a guy, but he's got to get a few yards down the field first. Singletary will make the first guy miss, but if the first guy he's got to make misses behind the line of scrimmage, there's somebody else there to clean it up. So I think this week in particular, it was kind of like the whole first half. It was just like ramming your head against a wall. Like we were having no success. And I'm a big advocate for having some balance to the team and being able to sprinkle in the run plays. But there has to be some sort of effectiveness to it. And I think in the first half, it was also very predictable. It was a lot of, 1st and 10, we're running the ball. And then, you're starting out so many drives, we gain 1 yard or we lose 2 yards, and you're starting out so many drives behind the sticks. So I think this continues to be an issue from last year. We've had a couple of weeks where it looks like it might be getting a little bit better, and then we put up this stinker of a week. So I don't know that the answer is on the team. And with the offensive line that we have currently, I don't think either of these running backs are good enough to really have a big day without the holes being opened up. So unless you're bringing in an elite talent at running back, I just don't see much changing.
Yeah, and I think Joe Marino said something along those lines too, and he commented on how McDermott was saying like, "Oh, you want to be two-dimensional on offense, but unfortunately with what we have in the backfield, we can't really be that." Where it's like Moss and Singletary don't scare defenses. They don't. And the Bills know that, but they're still going to try, which I understand, but it's just not effective, at least right now. Who knows what happened? And like I said, the new offensive line combo that we put out there could have been a huge reason why the run game was ineffective, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see as the season unfolds.
Yeah, and to your point there, I understand the not wanting to be one dimensional. Um, letting defenses plan for just the pass and, never having the threat of the run. But we did that last year, and
Yeah.
it worked really well. And I understand teams adjust and get film and have different game plans. But we had no running game last year, and we were like, okay, well, if we can't run the ball, Josh is gonna throw it 50 times a game. And just honestly, in some of the situations, it just feels like we're taking an opportunity away from what the strength is of the team. So and it's just hard for me right now.
Yeah, it's hard to justify taking snaps away from Josh Allen and giving it to whoever in the backfield. Yeah, I agree with that.